The Faithful Dog. Kurt Pahari forms a belt of 270 km. Between Sindh and the natural border, the highest mountain is Daryaru-Bahar, which is 7,000 feet above sea level. On this grand monument is the grave of a faithful dog, but my point is that a young man was digging a grave with his hoe and was drenched in sweat. After the grave, he cut a hole in a sack. It was closed. There was no sign of life in his body. That poor man was no longer in this place. The young man laid the dog in the grave and started placing stones on it. It was raining lightly that day. The spirited young man placed the last stone on the grave of his faithful dog. After some time, he got up and began to cry loudly. Only the valleys and mountains could hear his voice. He spent the whole day there and went home crying. In evening, he could not find peace at home either. He started to miss the days spent with his faithful dog. This spirited young man lived in a mountain village under the bearded mountain. One day he saw a small dog wandering in the mountains. This little Sakta was very beautiful. The young man caught him and brought him to the hut. The young man began to take great care of him. The dog became young. With the passage of time, he started to grow into a young man and a dog. He stayed with the owner day and night. Their love and affection started being talked about in the whole valley. There was a shop in the village where the necessary goods were found. The young man used to go to his shop with his dog to buy money for the house from this shop. 1 year, by God, it happened that there was no rain, obviously because of the lack of rain. There was no harvest. He asked the shopkeeper to lend him the goods for 1 year. After thinking for a while, the shopkeeper asked him to leave his dog here as a guarantee until the loan is paid. The poor and forced young man had to do the same. He was very sorry to part with his dog. He sat on the ground. He said in the dog's ear, "Be loyal to the new owner. As long as I pay off the debt, there is no going back." Tears came to the eyes of the innocent animal. He was feeling the pain of his owner and was preparing to live temporarily with his new owner. The young man handed over his loyal dog to the caretaker and left for his village. The shopkeeper put a chain round the dog's neck and brought him home. The poor dog had never seen a chain before. He had a strange life. But he had to be loyal to his new owner. Days passed. He young man prepared his fields with great effort. He waited for the rains to come and the crops to be good, so that he could clear the debt and bring his dog back home. One night, thieves came to the shopkeeper's house. They stole all the cash, jewelry, and other valuables of the shopkeeper. The dog was chained, so it was forced. It started barking loudly. The shopkeeper woke up. He felt that something was wrong. He immediately freed the dog from the chain. The dog ran after the thieves. The thieves had reached the bank of the river. Outside the village, the dog surrounded them. The shopkeeper also followed behind, along with him. Many people of the village also came there with sticks and axes. Thus they ran away, leaving the goods all over the place. The shopkeeper was overjoyed at this feat of the dog and set the dog free, intended to do so and return it to its original owner. Your faithful dog has made me very happy. He has saved my valuables, cash and equipment from being stolen, I think. Your dog has paid off your debt. You are no longer my debtor. I am. freeing your dog and sending it back to you. He put this slip and opened the chain and ordered the dog to go to his old owner's house. The dog happily ran towards his old master's house, shopkeeper. Both of them met face to face. The cat started wagging its tail happily, but the emotions and feelings of both were very different from each other. One was very happy, and the other was sad and angry. The dog thought that his old owner would be very happy for his bravery and love him, while the sullen young man thought that he had run away from the shopkeeper and it has caused shame and humiliation. Shame, dog, you have dishonored me. You are unworthy and forbidden. The book fodder started running behind its owner, but the owner paid no attention to it. All this was too much for such a proud and low animal. He was convinced that his old master would not accept him, so he fell down on the steep path and died there. When the young man went to the shopkeeper to return the loan, he came to know the truth. The shopkeeper told him that he had tied a rope around the dog's neck for the release of the dog and forgiveness of the debt. Burdened with sorrow, sadness, and regret, the young man left there. It was raining lightly, but the heart of this young man was filled with sorrow and regret. He put his dead beloved dog in a coffin and buried it cross-legged on the top of the mountain. Even today, the grave of this loyal and proud dog is located on the top of this mountain, where it is very cold for 12 months of the year. Centuries have passed, but the people of Sind have not forgotten the story of the faithful dog. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.